Kamal Hasan said the following in an interview, I think it was to the Hindu newspaper, I think, if I'm not misquoted. So don't be suspicious of me every minute.
Is singing the national anthem not fashionable?
But there is a deliberate attempt to classify now.
क्योंकि वो आज भी सपने दिखाते हैं और मोदी देश बनाता है.
No. Smriti Irani till today, the main
Can you imagine the sense of freedom? He says the word cow and I'm not lynching him verbally.
I felt that, but if it happens every day, it becomes like it loses its effect.
We are in the season of change for sure, but Arnab Goswami, you are the gavel of debate. You're not the gavel of God. Chalo, bolo. Many Indians who are told it is not cool to be patriotic. Why would you shed a tear when the national anthem is played? In fact, why would you want to stand? The best way to celebrate your democracy is to say Bharat tere tukde honge, and I disagree with it.
When you play our national anthem in cinema theaters, and that's not the place to test it.
I don't think the national anthem is played, sir, to test somebody's patriotism. We don't have our languages possibly in common. We might not have our cultural affinities in common. But the one thing that we have in common is that goosebump that we get when Jana Gana Man plays.
I've heard of an incident when Nehruji walked into a function and somebody started playing it soon after independence. Somebody started playing the national anthem because Nehruji was walking in. He just said, don't do that. I am late for the function, don't do it now.
Well, not much has changed, sir, as far as that particular segment of our polity goes. Today in the Rajasthan election, they say, don't sing the national anthem, don't say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, because it's not politically prudent for them. So not much has changed for them.
Celebrating differences of religion, Mr. Kamal Hasan, when you said never since independence have things been as bad as this.
No, because we decided to celebrate the diversity, but with unity. But there is a deliberate attempt to classify now.
Classify what?
The Hindu and the non-Hindu.
The Hindu versus non-Hindu.
Yeah.
When you say that there is a deliberate attempt to divide, so when the Prime Minister, or for that matter the government says, let us build a road or let us ensure electricity in each home, do you think वो बिजली की तार घर में पूछ के आती है घर हिंदू है क्या मुसलमान का है? Do you think वो सड़क आपसे सर्टिफिकेशन मांगती है कौन चल रहा है मुझ पे हिंदू या मुसलमान?
We are not finding fault with your optics. The optics are fantastic.
Do you think Dr. Kalam became the president of our country for optics?
No, because he deserved it. That's different.
Yes, and the people who made him get that particular opportunity that he so deserved was the Bharatiya Janata Party. We didn't look at him as a fellow Indian who happens to be a Muslim.
You talk for the whole party now.
Yes, sir, I do.
Good.
I don't need tuitions like certain political people. And I don't work on permission slips.
Mr. Kamal Hasan says there is Hindu extremism in Tamil Nadu, and you cannot say that there is no Hindu terror.
Yes. Now that was translated in English, but it was an article written by me in Tamil. And it says Hindu Tivravadam. Tivravadam and Bhayangaravadam are two different things in Tamil. Tivravadam is extremism. Bhayangaravadam is terrorism. I did not use the word terrorism.
But we look for nomenclatures which are politically convenient only for optics or for voting. That is when the problem begins. So I will only say this, and I'm not speaking only of Mr. Hasan, but famously one gentleman who spoke about the fact that he's fearful of Hindu terrorism, today is Janayodhari. So miracles do happen.
What more? I didn't get it.
She referred to a certain Janayodhari, sir. Have you heard of one? A recent Janeyudhari.
Who's that?
In fact, I may tell you, many Congress leaders believe that Maoist terrorists are revolutionaries. In the last election, they said so. Would you confront them on that?
I was speaking of discontent, and that group is showing discontent in a way which I don't like. That's all.
That's very forgiving.
Huh?
That's a very forgiving expression. They're picking up arms against the state.
I'm not forgiving them. They have taken a stand. They've taken up arms. So that's wrong. I don't believe in that. I think the only way is not to shoot them dead, but have the dialogue. Why the discontent?
A dialogue with terrorists.
How do you have a dialogue with a gun to your head? What is revolutionary about killing fellow citizens? What is revolutionary that in the name of that revolution of taking up arms against your state, you tell people rape the women along the way in the villages and let nobody speak, for we are revolutionaries. Nothing revolutionary about challenging the Constitution of India, and there cannot be a dialogue with a gun to the head.
We will not accept a one religion, one language, one attitude, and one kind of education approach. One religion.
One religion is when I go to New York to celebrate Independence Day. He says, he thinks because of my name, I could be Muslim. So, he says, Mr. Kamal Hasan. So he said, India for Hindus.
Who said?
That man in the street shouting.
In New York.
In New York.
He speaks for himself.
No.
And he speaks in New York.
New York, that's what I said. And his further slogans, you can make out from slogans that he's not speaking just for himself. But when you speak, I know on whose behalf or for whom you're speaking. So I could make that out, that man was speaking not only for himself, but for an ideology and a party.
Why? Why would you presume that a man on the streets in New York speaks for my ideology? Did he have a BJP badge on him?
He praises our honorable Prime Minister.
Well, sir, but
and he says Hindus, India for Hindus.
No, but that's
no, but what has a New York guy got to do with us?
Oh, he has all to do with you.
No. The very fact that this audience seated here today differs with you tells you the strength of your country.